Right, so Marvel's Avengers has its first piece of endgame content, and I'm gonna go through what's good about it, what's bad about it, what's so-so about it. Most of it's so-so. It's good that this didn't have any game-breaking bugs or didn't reveal your IP address or anything, but the fact that that's got to be a worry about this game now is not a good thing. But it's good that nothing like criminal came out of this, or nothing that actively endangered the player base. But also, this is really lackluster for a first kind of opening endgame experience for your player base after 10 months of just having nothing really to do as a hardcore player in this game. Now we've got something that's here's this big challenging content, and you don't get really much for it. There aren't any rewards attached to this at the moment. There's a 1 weekly exotic, which will turn into 3 weekly exotics for a duration period. This will also be the case for multiplayer mega hives, but that's a different thing. They've kind of been improved because they are now multiplayer, and this is very meh. This is very for something like this that should have been so good. This is very, very disappointing for what it's meant to be and what it's meant to show off. The biggest gripe I have is what it's actually called, and the fact that this is going to get very confusing very quickly, what with War for Wakanda and whatever Cloning Labs is or was meant to be. Stuff like that is also going to be called OLTs, and then you have this, which is called an OLT, which is a repeat of a mission you've done before, just scaled up and with a different boss at the end that's the same boss, but it's just been retooled to be harder and to have mechanics. But the mechanics are just dodge this, dodge that, he does more damage, and he has more attacks. That's all there is. There's nothing really there's no his phases, do a bit of damage, you can't attack him, do a bit of damage, you can't attack him, you've got to dodge everything for the next God knows how long. It's not as cool as the Monica fight, I will say that, but it's still cool enough. It's a cool visual. It's a very cool visual having a character that can use all of the powers of the Avengers. But there's no point when, if you're really hardcore endgame, you're going to breeze through this no matter what. The mission isn't tooled for hardcore. The mission isn't tooled for the upper echelon of players. It's tooled for the people that are casual hardcore, the casual endgame audience, the people that have their characters maxed but left the game for a while. Not the people that have been playing every single day. But I'm one of those people that has been playing regularly, but I've also taken breaks here and there. I struggled with this. I struggled with the boss fight. I didn't struggle with anything up to the boss fight, but I struggled with the boss fight itself. I had fun with the mission. It's changed to basically fit in the story now, and for you to be able to take in Hawkeye, and for it to not make sense. But in doing that, it feels more like a priority mission that's just harder than an actual hardcore raid experience. Because when I think of a raid experience, I think of multiple bosses. I think of and this does have 2 bosses in it, as the Warbot, it has the Super Adaptoid, but neither of them are raid style encounters. Neither of them are like, the Warbot is something we've already fought before, and the Super Adaptoid is something that we've already fought before. The thing that I think of when I think of raids are exclusive encounters that you can't fight anywhere else. You can fight the Super Adaptoid in Kate's story. It's not the same fight, but it is still that fight. The Warbot you can fight whenever you fucking want. It's in fucking 300 missions. It's in practically every mission in the game. So that isn't really changed. It's harder, obviously. It does more damage, but it's not different. Same attacks, works the same. It's not a different fight. But the fun from this comes from playing with your friends, working out the Super Adaptoid fight, and, you know, seeing his attacks and seeing this enemy do basically what you can do with your characters. But there's nothing else outside of that. If the rewards were any better, if the rewards were existent in the first place, I would praise this more. If the mission was longer, I would praise it more. If there was more change to the boss fights, I would praise it more. The Super Adaptoid himself is one of those things where if you go in with a really stacked build, you'll clear it no problem. But if you don't, it's a really fun fight. But the fact that not everyone will get the really fun fight is something that I find is really, like, you should have scaled it to be like, either scale it so that only the max players can get into it, or scale it so that so that it scales with the player, like villain sectors do. But because that's not the case, a lot of players, or some players, the upper echelon of players, will be breezing through this, and that's not the case. I know I should be talking about my own experience. My own experience was, for the most part, a good one, and my own experience was I struggled with it. I struggled with this mission a lot, and I like that, because this is meant to be the ultimate test for your player. This should be the ultimate test on, is your build any good? Do you need to change it? How well do you actually know the mechanics of the game? And how good are you in comparison to all these other players that are as hardcore as you, if not more? And where do you fit on kind of the food chain? Where is your character at? Or where are your characters at? And for me, I definitely need to work on defense. That's a definite thing. If you watch my stream, or you watch me play this on stream, Twitch TV/Luke1Does2 stuff, then you would see that my Hawkeye needs more defense. My Hawkeye was dying a lot in that final fight. But yeah, I had fun with this, but I am also very aware that my experience is very different to other content creators' experiences. It's very different to other better players' experiences anyway. And my experience is I had fun with it, and it was a challenge for me because my build wasn't very good, and because blah blah blah, and because a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why my experience with it was different to a lot of other people. Like, I'm generally going to be a lot better, a lot more easily impressed when it comes to this game, because I don't hold it to very high standards. I'm just, give us something and I'll be happy with it. That's why when Red Room came out, I was happy with Red Room. I wasn't happy that it was so short, and I wasn't happy that it didn't have the boss fight, but I was happy we got something. When the villain sector came out, I was extremely happy with it because it was a new mission that was challenging, it was good, it was a really good boss fight, and it was built around a character that I mained, so bonus there. But yeah, I don't think I'm holding this to as high a standard as any other player is. Like, any other player would be like, this is very disappointing. Where for me, I'm more along the lines of, I can take or leave it. I would prefer something different. I would prefer something new, maybe like an all new mission, but focused around the Super Adaptoid himself. But as it stands, I'm fine with what they've done. I'm fine with how difficult or how easy the Super Adaptoid boss fight is. The only thing for me is the rewards. The rewards are not good enough. Just, upgrade modules and a non-stone that's not even, like, what? If you're gonna give us a non-stone, give us the stuff that, can upgrade them. Because you can only get them from deploy missions at the moment, and those are few and far between. They're very limited. So having something that gives you a thing, but not the resources to upgrade that thing, very annoying. Just give us resources, man. Just give us credits on something as a reward for something. Credits as a reward for something would be good. I know they're on the challenger card, but I have to make this point every time I mention credits being a reward for something. On the challenge card, you can only work back 500 more than what you spent. You can't grind credits in this game. If you want to grind credits in this game, you can grind a finite amount, and then you can buy one uniform per character? One legendary uniform per character. And they haven't even brought out exotic uniforms yet for characters, and when they do, you bet your ass that they're gonna be charging over 2,000 credits for them. I just think with so much in the game that needs credits to purchase, like uniforms, nameplates, takedowns, and the unlocking new characters challenge cards as well, I don't think the credits that you get for the challenge cards is enough. And then basically saying complete those, and if you want any more, buy them. That's not good enough for me. I'm sorry, but you have to be a bit more, considerate that there is a player base that is going to be free to play. Like, if people are coming in from the free tester week, where it's basically free where it's going to be free for a week, essentially, they're going to want a free game. They're not going to want to shell out, $99 to get credits, to get uniforms that basically are just cosmetic. That's the thing for me as well, that I struggle to justify a purchase of a uniform in this game, because it is just cosmetic. There's nothing else to it apart from it looks nice, and it's the new shiny. It's like with the Thor endgame suit. It looks nice, but I will not be buying it because I want to save up I'm saving up for the Black Panther Challenger card. By the way, Black Panther, the release date thing for that came out. It's sooner than I thought it was going to be. It's coming out around mid-August, so like the 17th is the drop date, but the the war table for it is going to be on the 16th, which I like. I like this kind of showing off the character, and then the next day you can play as that character. You know, I really like that, because they've had the marketing campaign for War for Wakanda, you know, a lot of people might not agree with this, but I think it's been genius. It's been drip feeding us little teasers. It's like you get to see a little bit of the story. You get to see the suit, what the suit looks like, and then you get to see a little bit of what the story is actually going to be, and then you get to see a little bit of gameplay, and then we get the warn table, and then we get the actual update. So yeah, I will be doing a full video talking about the war table. I'll probably react to it, and then I'll actually watch it on the channel. I'll react to it on the channel, and then I will do a review of it after the reaction, so that'll be all in the same video. And then War for Wakanda, I'll be streaming the whole thing. I'll be also raising money for colon cancer charity. I don't know which one yet. I have to look, I still have to look stuff up, but I will do a video explaining what I will be doing, probably on the 15th, the day before the actual content comes out, the day before the war table comes out. So anyways, that's my opinion on the OLT, the family reunion OLT. I'll probably just call this video Marvel's Avengers First Raid is kind of disappointing, or you know, the other thing is every raids, dungeons, whatever are all called OLTs. They're all put under the same bracket. That's confusing, and it's like when the Wakanda OLT comes out, people are going to be like, oh, but that's just going to be the same as what this was, when that's not the case. But people are going to look at it like, oh, that's going to be a lackluster mission. That's just going to be a repeat of whatever the last mission of the War for Wakanda update is, or War for Wakanda expansion is, and that's not going to be the case. This is more like a strike in Destiny terms, or more like a dungeon in usual RPG terms or MMORPG terms. But the actual Wakanda OLT will be a raid. I don't know if they're going to call them OLT raids or raid OLT or raid OLT and dungeon OLT, but you know, I don't know. I don't know what this fucking game wants. I don't know. It's annoying, it's confusing, and it makes no sense, but that's what Marvel's Avengers has become. Annoying, confusing, and makes no sense. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Head on over to my Twitch where you can watch me play Marvel's Avengers every bloody day. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.